Chris, what is our second main topic today?
This is from Mr. Crisp0013.
Ooh.
Good morning, Campea crew. I saw a recent article from Business News Australia that a Godzilla vs. Kong reboot was planned to film in Australia. It spoke how it would inject some much-needed money into the economy and spur temporary jobs. What's your gals' thoughts about this? Y'all do a great job. Keep up the good work.
All right, thanks a lot for sending that in, man. And yes, Godzilla vs. Kong. You can't overemphasize, I think, how perfect of a situation was, given that we were in the context of a pandemic. We have an Other Than New Mutants, which was just kind of an anomaly that kind of came out in the middle of the pandemic. They tried putting out in the theaters, didn't quite work, whatever. But it was really Godzilla versus Kong that was that first movie to come along that made people excited. It was really, I mean, a couple of things had trickled in, but it really was Godzilla vs. Kong that was the true first big tentpole, high-profile film that we could go and see. And what a first one it was. That was the movie we needed at that time. Because I remember walking into that movie theater, it had been a while since we had done it on any kind of regular basis, to walk in there and see Godzilla and King Kong standing on a freaking aircraft carrier, throwing down. Godzilla trying to fight the distance game, Kong trying to get inside and do some dirty boxing. It was great. It was so much fun, despite all the magnitude of logic holes in that movie. It was so much fun, and it was the movie we needed. How do you do a second one? I don't know, but you do. Because despite the fact that it was kind of first out of the gate, and the fact that it had an HBO Max release, the film made over $400 million. One can only imagine how much it would have made. But it made over $400 million. So clearly, a part 2 is on the horizon. This comes from the folks at Joe Blow, who write the following. State Premier Anna, oh boy, I'm never going to say this right, Anastasia Palasukic stated that filming will take place in location across the Gold Coast. This is in New Zealand, in Queensland, New Zealand. Across the Gold Coast and the Southeast. Screen Queensland also reports that the movie will give the area a big economic boost of 58.6 million US dollars and will create 505 jobs for the local cast and crew with opportunities for 750 extras. She said, I'm just going to say she, had this to say about the film shooting in Queensland. The production is expected to inject more than double the $36.5 million that Godzilla vs. Kong brought to the state and is a welcome boost to our economy as we recover from the impacts of the global pandemic and the Southeast Queensland flooding events. These types of productions benefit our screen industry, deliver local jobs, and provide a welcome boost to our small business and communities in and around our production sites. So, we're hearing from the government officials in New Zealand, Queensland, that this movie is getting made, and they're saying they're going to shoot this year. They're going to actually shoot it this year. Now, I will admit, while I am completely on board with, yeah, you got to do another one of these. Of course you do. I don't know what you do with a Godzilla vs. Kong 2. Why do they fight again? What breaks down? Does Godzilla see Kong messing with his girlfriend? I don't know. What happens? Why do they fight again? But look, at this point, I got to tell you, Rob, we always say story comes first. I don't care. I want to see Godzilla and Kong again on the big screen at this point. Rob, you hear about this? Any surprise that they're going to be shooting it this soon and this early? What directions do you think they can go in? Are you looking forward to it?
Well, first of all, I mean, it makes sense because, like, I know in the movie it's Monster Island, but of course Australia has the opening to the center of the earth where they shot a lot of the first Godzilla versus Kong. You know, where he took his sword from, that whole temple. I mean, I think it's in the Blue Mountains in Australia where they actually go down about 100 miles, isn't it? Into the center of the earth. Isn't that where they shot?
Or 1,000 miles, I can't remember.
Something like that, I can't remember. But I think what I love about this is, you know, John, I've made no secret of my love. One of my favorite Godzilla movies is Godzilla versus Monster Zero, or Godzilla versus the Astro Monster. And in that movie, the aliens from Planet X they want to borrow Godzilla and Rodan to fight King Ghidorah. And we loan Godzilla and Rodan to these aliens. And of course, it shows it's through plot machinations. We find out the aliens were nefarious, and they launch all three monsters in a bid to take over the Earth. And as I've always said, John, what I've been waiting for in the legendary Warner Brothers MonsterVerse are aliens, and specifically hot aliens in the black and silver suits that the aliens from Planet X wore in Godzilla versus the Astro Monster.
Are they also kaiju? Are they very large?
No, they're not. They're hot Japanese people with awesome sunglasses. And I wanted to be one when I was a little kid. You have the controller. If you know who the controller is, Google the controller. Tell me he's not one of the coolest mofos you've ever seen. That's what you do. The aliens come in and they trump up some reason why Godzilla and King Kong have to fight. And of course, they bring in other monsters and it becomes WrestleMania.
Chris, that's a hard one to follow up. But where...
Just a hard one to follow.
Where to follow? But what do you think about this shooting later this year? So, I mean, the pre-production's got to be almost all set and wrapped to go. Where do you think they can go with another Godzilla versus Kong?
They fucking want.
That's right.
I mean, and also, who says they have to be fighting each other? What if this is their buddy cop movie? What if they've put aside their differences and they're like, oh, they just brought me back in again, and now I got to go fight other kaiju or large attractive people? Who's to say? So
Combine it with Pacific Rim.
That's true, right?
Do the ultimate crossover.
Exactly. And that way,
Jaegers
too.
versus the two of them.
Yeah, and you could make that aliens as well if you want to bring in some other thing.
I like the way you think.
It writes itself, you guys. I also, just touching on this too, because when I first read the comment, I was like, are they asking if we're excited about this movie or the jobs it's putting in Australia?
Both.
Yeah, we love that. I love that film creates so many opportunities for people. And that's one of the coolest things about our industry is that one movie sparks thousands of jobs. That's amazing. And after all the devastation that happened with Australia's forests and everything too, pre-pandemic, so we all kind of forget about it because the beginning of 2020 was just a cluster. I mean, I love that we're going to fuel more money into Australia. I love that we're doing it with this film because who doesn't want to see these two continue to do awesome ass shit?
And by the way, I should point out that while I'm kind of referring to this as another Godzilla versus Kong, they have not said that this is Godzilla versus Kong 2. They're simply calling it the sequel to Godzilla versus Kong. And that could be an important distinction about what we see. What we do probably know is that it'll probably take place in Hollow Earth, which Hollow Earth itself carries many logical problems. But aside from that, they want to deal mostly in Hollow Earth. So maybe what we're really just going to see is 2 hours of monster versus monster kind of stuff. I mean, I don't know that for sure, but it could be. Like, Ray, what did you think of Godzilla versus Kong? You looking forward to another one?
That description makes me think the marijuana is going to be heavily used in the next film because that's the only way you can enjoy it. I thought the first film was good. I really thought it was good. With me, story takes backseat. So the logic problems, it doesn't matter. You got big monsters walking on Earth. What logic do you need?
What more do you need?
You throw away that and
man,
you just
still
enjoy
need
the
logic.
fight.
Come on, don't speak that way.
I love the look Ray gives him. Anyway, guys, the question is for you.
Still
it looks
love you,
like
man.
Godzilla versus Kong, a sequel, is a go. They're going to start shooting it a little bit later this year. What do you guys think about that? Maybe you didn't like the original one. Maybe you loved it. Are you excited about a new one? Whatever you guys think, jump down into the comments section below and let us know your thoughts. Guys, we want to take just a minute and thank the sponsor of this video, Masterclass. Masterclass is offering classes on a wide variety of topics, like all taught by world-class masters at the absolute tops of their field. Each class is broken down out into individual video lessons, usually like around 10 minutes or so long, and members can explore at their own pace. And each class is supported by downloadable materials, lessons, recipes, or more that you can all find at masterclass.com. For example, are you into streaming? Well, you can take the Building Your Streaming class taught by ninjas so you can sharpen up on your streaming skills. Or if you're interested in independent filmmaking, take independent filmmaking from Academy Award winner Spike Lee. You want to get classes on how to direct? How about from Ron Howard? The very first one I personally looked up and got into was Business Leadership by the great Big Papa Iger, Bob Iger himself. And I was absolutely enthralled with it. I love every single minute of this stuff. If any of those apply to you, you need to try Masterclass. So I highly recommend that you check it out. Get unlimited access to every Masterclass, and as a John Campea Show viewer, you get 15% off an annual membership. Go to masterclass.com/Campea. Once again, to get 15% off your annual membership, go to masterclass.com/Campea.